Show. This is my review of NXT TakeOver New Orleans 2018, and what a show it was. Man, every match on this card looked like it could be amazing, and it turned out that way. Every match on the card was amazing. Man, was this exciting as this was. You know, it it I'm so excited about what just happened on Takeover New Orleans. Like, WrestleMania is tomorrow, but I'm still thinking I still can't get my mind off Takeover New Orleans right now because it was so amazing. I had predictions. Man, was I wrong on a lot of them. I predicted that Strong and Dunn were going to win the tag team championships. I was, in a way, right about that. I predicted that Shayna Baszler would get a win here for the women's title. I predicted that EC3 was going to win the six-man ladder match for the North American title. I predicted that Aleister Black would win the NXT title match with Andrade Cien Almas. And let's see what else. We had Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa in a unsanctioned match for Johnny's career on the line. I predicted that Tommaso was going to win that. Those were my predictions. Let's get into the review of the show and see how I did. As I said, I didn't fare too well on quite a few of these, but I don't even care about that because the show itself was so good, so exciting. Let's see here. What did we start off with? So we started out the show. We kicked off the show with a performance by Kane Hill. They have their song. A couple of their songs are the theme songs for Takeover New Orleans here. So we got a performance by them. What can I say? Good job on them. They did a good job on their performance. I guess I'm not the biggest fan of their. I haven't listened to the rest of their music, but I can't say that I'm super. After this performance and what I've heard, it doesn't make me really want to go deep into Kane Hill's library there. But it was good. But for the actual matches themselves, we started out with a North American title, a six-man ladder match between EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, Velveteen Dream, and Adam Cole. And man, this was a good match. I took some notes here late, watching it again, just so I wouldn't miss anything that I wanted to mention. Again, a lot of great high spots in this match. Again, you knew all six of these guys were going to bring it. They wanted this first match for the North American title match to be something that you remember when you talk about that North American title, and you think back to the first time that they had a match for that. You're going to remember that first match they had. Be like, oh yeah, that's not just something that gets lost to time. That'll be something that people are going to be talking about for years to come. So let's see here. What do we have? To start out the match, we really saw a lot of the athleticism that Ricochet brings to the table with all his high-flying stunts that he does. He did a couple of backflips to the outside, doing flips off the top rope, moonsault off the top rope. Another big thing that we had after that was Lars Sullivan. He went crazy with that ladder. He grabbed that ladder and he was going to town on everybody in the ring, just wreaking havoc for a couple of minutes on everybody inside the ring, getting attacks in with that ladder. Eventually, Killian Dane throws Lars Sullivan to the outside of the ring. I really like the suicide dive that Killian Dane does on Lars Sullivan to the outside of the ring. Man, that was pretty amazing. That's not something you see every day. A big guy like Killian Dane doing a suicide dive on somebody to the outside. So that was a good spot. I really liked Adam Cole's super kick party was what I think I heard them call it on the show itself. He started throwing the super kick on everybody. That was a good spot. After the super kick party that Adam Cole had, Velveteen Dream had his own Purple Rain party. He was doing the Purple Rain. He was doing a good job. He had earlier been power slammed onto a ladder on his ribs, and even though he was doing the Purple Rain, he was doing a really good job of selling that his ribs were hurt. He wasn't like running super quick to each corner to do his Purple Rainmaker. I mean, Velveteen Dream is, one day he's going to be a big star. Like, he's already a big star in NXT. I think he's just going to shoot straight to the moon once he gets to the main roster as well. I mean, fans just love him so much. He does a good job of his moves. He does a good job selling. The guy is amazing. After that, another good spot we had was Killian Dane does a Vader bomb with Adam Cole in his arms onto EC3. Man, that looked like that hurt. I mean, EC3 is laying underneath the ladder at that point, ladder on top of EC3. Killian Dane jumps off. They both land on top of EC3 under the ladder. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is crushed. I mean, Killian, just taking that kind of bump from Killian Dane would crush you, but you have Killian Dane and he's, holding on to and slamming Adam Cole at the same time. Like, oh man, that EC3 guy. I mean, yeah, he's an in-shape guy, but man, that had to hurt. What else did we get? We had, I like this spot where, Ricochet, he's starting to climb the ladder like he's going to go up for the belt, of course. Lars Sullivan starts to tip that ladder over. Ricochet does a backflip moonsault to the outside of the ring, hitting two of the other performers, Killian Dane and whoever else was out there. That was pretty good. As they said on the during the show, that he took a moment where he was about to be, have something horrible done to him, and he turned it into a positive by making an attack out of it on two other opponents. So that was a really good spot. Another one that we had was Velveteen Dream has a rolling Death Valley onto a ladder bridge done to him by Killian Dane. What else did we get here? Lars Sullivan hits a freak accident through a ladder bridge as well. Then Killian Dane, he also jumps with Adam Cole in his arms through another ladder bridge. I mean, they really did a good job of using the ladders in this match. It was all pretty amazing. At one point, they had 3 ladders set up, all 6 guys reaching for the belt as well. That's the only hokey part you ever see in in every single ladder match that there's ever been that I've ever seen. Guys will climb like 2 steps on the ladder, and then they're gonna start reaching for the belt like they can reach it. Like, nobody just like waits to climb all the way to the top before they actually reach for the belt when it's actually in reach. So that's something that's always kind of silly, but it adds to the drama. At one point, everybody's knocked down. Ricochet's going up there. Adam Cole knocks Ricochet. He knocks the ladder over. Ricochet goes flying, hits the top rope, and then flies to the outside of the ring. Adam Cole climbs up the ladder. He grabs that North American title belt, and he is our first ever North American title holder. Congratulations to Adam Cole. The whole match, like I said, was exciting. I didn't predict that Adam Cole was going to win here. He does get the win, so that's a good start for the Undisputed Era for the night at NXT TakeOver for them. Then after this match, we ended up having the women's title match next between Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler. This match was also really good. Women's division killing it. Ember Moon had her good entrance here. She came out, she had the flames in her hair, she had orange hair this time, had the red eyes in. The band was here to play her music for her entrance, so that was, pretty good. Then Shayna Baszler comes in. I'll get to something about the entrance for Shayna Baszler when I get to the end of this match. That I just had a thought at the beginning of this match. But what happened during the match, Shayna Baszler is going to go to stomp on Ember Moon's arm. Ember Moon's able to reverse that, and then Ember Moon, in a turn of events, she hesitating, but she ends up stomping on Shayna Baszler's arm, and then they did a really good job of using this throughout the match, and doing the in-ring psychology of telling that story of like, okay, Shayna Baszler's arm is hurt, she's trying to do a couple submissions after that, she can never fully lock them in because her arm is hurt, and Ember is able to use that a few times to her advantage to get out of submissions because she stomped on Shayna Baszler's arm, something that Shayna Baszler normally does. Let's see here. Another high spot that I liked about this match was when Ember Moon did her eclipse to the outside of the ring from the top rope. That was pretty amazing. Another point where Shayna Baszler actually counters the eclipse. Nobody had ever done that before, but Shayna Baszler actually counters the eclipse and puts Ember Moon into her Karafuna clutch there, and eventually, after this goes on for a while, Shayna Baszler chokes Ember Moon out. The ref calls the match. Shayna Baszler wins. And she wins the title. Ember Moon loses the title, and Shayna Baszler is our new champion. She goes outside of the ring. She goes over and gives Ronda Rousey a hug, who we will see at WrestleMania tomorrow. But yeah, so getting back to the beginning of this match, the entrance, what I want to say about this, because after this, you could see that Shayna Baszler was getting pretty emotional after the match. Like, she was excited, like, that she had won the champion, that she was now the champion. And what I noticed about this match at the entrance, when Shayna and Ember were having their face-off, something on the look of Shayna Baszler's face, like she had, when they were just like announcing her name, she had like this emotional look on her face that like kind of was like, it telegraphed it just a little bit for me, that I said, she's got a look on her face like she knows she's winning this match, and obviously she knows, but I mean, she, like, just the subtle look on her face like told me that, I was like, oh gosh, like, yep, she looks a little bit emotional, and not like emotional like she's about to, she's getting fired up for this match. It was like she's so excited that she knows like this match is ending for her in a win, and she's going to be the new title holder. It's just something I noticed. I don't know if anybody else noticed it. Let me know if you noticed that while you were watching. After this match, we got our tag title match with the Authors of Pain, Undisputed Era, and Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. A lot of really good high spots in this match as well. Authors of Pain looked tough. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are fighting in there. Adam Cole, he's been in the ladder match earlier in the night, so he's got tape all around his ribs because obviously he's hurt from having to wrestle in that match. Just earlier in the night to start the match, he gets slammed on the table on the outside of the ring at pretty much the beginning of the match, and he's never a factor the whole rest of the match. So you're thinking that, oh man, that's going to be a big disadvantage for Kyle O'Reilly, and it really looks like it is. Finally, end of the match, Pete Dunne, he hits his finisher on Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly is out. Pete Dunne goes for the pin. Boom. Roderick Strong comes in, and Roderick Strong breaks up the pin. He does his heartbreaker on Pete Dunne, and then he throws Kyle O'Reilly on top of him and gets the 1, 2, 3. Undisputed Era is the winners again. They keep the belts as well. I didn't think Adam Cole was going to win. I didn't think Undisputed Era as a tag team were going to win. They got both wins here. Obviously, this one with the help of Roderick Strong. This is a heel turn for Roderick Strong that I did not see coming. He go ahead and he takes an armband from Adam Cole. He puts it on his arm and he signals that, hey, he's joining the Undisputed Era. He's throwing up the hand signs for Undisputed Era after the match is over, posing with them. And now it looks like Roderick Strong is a full-fledged member of Undisputed Era. And I wonder how this will play out in the storyline this coming week after this is all said and done. Are they going to go back and... Undisputed Era is really going to throw it in the face of William Regal, like, oh yeah, you didn't think Adam Cole would, and Undisputed Era would be able to win both of these matches or win either of these matches because of the disadvantage they had. However, Adam Cole gets the win, and they get the win with the help of Roderick Strong. So maybe they're going to throw that back in the face of William Regal going forward, so I'm excited to see what they do with that. After this was the match that we had for the NXT title with Aleister Black and Andrade Cien Almas. Of course, Andrade Cien Almas is escorted to the ring by Zelina Vega. And again, this was another really good match. Towards the beginning of the match here, we get Zelina Vega. She, while the ref is distracted, she does a Hurricane Rana to Aleister Black on the outside of the ring while the ref isn't looking. This was a theme throughout the night where Zelina Vega, I think she interrupts the match like at least 5 times during the match to try to throw things off and, take advantage of the situation and get a cheap win for Andrade. What else did we get here? So Almas, another high spot I hit here was Almas misses on a moonsault, lands on his feet while Aleister Black is rolling out of the way. And then Andrade Cien Almas is able to do a standing moonsault and lands on top of Aleister Black. That was a really good high spot there. Then we get Zelina. She does a Hurricane Spike Rana, on Aleister Black, driving his head straight into the mat while the ref isn't looking. But he's able to kick out of that as well. Just a short while later, again, Zelina helps Almas get his foot on the ropes while it looks like Almas is KO'd. There, Zelina grabs his foot, puts it on the rope. The ref sees that, the ref of course doesn't see that Zelina put Almas's foot on the rope, but he sees that Almas's foot, when he looks up, he sees Almas's foot on the rope, so that breaks up the 3 count that Aleister Black would have gotten there. And then we get... at one point, Andrade is on the outside. Aleister Black, he's climbing up the ropes to do a move on Andrade. Of course, Zelina goes over there. She interrupts again, grabs Aleister Black, and prevents him from able to do an attack. And then Andrade is able to take advantage of the situation there. Another good high spot that we had was this time Zelina Vega. She tries to interfere again. She doesn't even care at this point. The ref is looking directly at her, but she cannot let Andrade lose the title. So she jumps. She's about to attack Alistair. Even at this point, it would be a DQ, but of course, a champion doesn't lose his belt by DQ. But for Zelina Vega, she misses. Andrade catches her, but then Aleister Black, while Andrade is holding on to Zelina Vega, Aleister Black hits his black mass on Andrade there, knocks him out. He falls. Zelina goes flying. She falls outside of the ring. Aleister Black gets the pin, 1, 2, 3, and Aleister Black is our new NXT champion. That's one of the predictions I got right. This match was a good one. Like every match here, it's so crazy to me. It's so hard to pick a favorite match tonight because they were all so good. With everything we got, all the high spots that we got all night long, these matches were long matches, so each competitor really got to tell their story inside the ring, and it really worked to everybody's benefit, and everybody got to shine. But for me, the very best match, it's so hard to pick, but the best match of the night was the match that closed the show, and that was an unsanctioned match between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Of course, Johnny Gargano's reinstatement is on the line. If he loses, he remains fired from NXT, and if he wins, he will be reinstated to NXT. And this was one that I really thought Johnny Gargano would end up losing. But boy, oh boy, was this an exciting match. Of course, when Tommaso Ciampa comes out, man, he is getting the biggest heat in the world. Fans are hating on him, booing him. Ciampa sucks and everything. And then, of course, Tommaso is trying to have his moment. He's climbing the turnbuckles. That's when Johnny's music hits. Johnny comes out to the ring. Big pop for Johnny. Everybody's loving Johnny. Of course, everybody wants to see Johnny win. Let's see here. And then when the match starts, they both come out swinging, really going at each other, punching. But then Johnny Gargano, he really starts to smash him. After this first flurry of exchanges, Johnny really gets on fire, and he's looking like he's got control of the match here at the very beginning. Then something else I noticed too, while Johnny was on top here at first in the beginning, I noticed Shane McMahon was sitting front row with his kids, his little boys, and you see Shane kind of ducking down in front, not wanting to be noticed and not take away from the show, and his kids there in front there shouting Johnny wrestling, go Johnny, go Johnny, so that was pretty funny, pretty cute to see his kids they're obviously even though their whole family's in the wrestling industry, it's warms your heart to see that those kids they're still can be fans of wrestling as well, and they're big fans of Johnny wrestling, obviously. So that was just something funny I noticed that didn't even pertain to the match, but just wanted to mention it. Let's see here, what else about this match though. Let's see here. We had a high spot where Ciampa suplexes Johnny off of the table onto the floor, and then another high spot, and Ciampa gets Johnny wrestling. He's draped over the outside of the apron, and Ciampa is just really going at it. He is stomping on the back of Johnny's head, and man, you're it doesn't look good. You're oh no, that looks bad. Poor Johnny, he's getting the back of his head stomped on. This Ciampa guy, he's a real jerk. And there's a lot of stuff, that fans were chanting at NXT TakeOver New Orleans that I'm not going to repeat here on my show, but oh yeah, he was definitely doing a good job of getting the heat. The fans were, they were letting him know what they thought of him. Let's see here. Ciampa, he goes over to a fan who's standing in the crowd who has crutches. He, flexes at him. The fan gets scared and he steals a fan's crutches. And then let's see here. Earlier in this match, Ciampa had ripped up a part of the padding on the floor to expose the concrete, and here we get Johnny Gargano. They're both fighting on the apron. They both have a couple exchanges where they look like they're about to get the better of the other and slam them onto the concrete. Eventually, Johnny Gargano, he's able to flip down, get Ciampa in a power slam position, power slams Ciampa onto the concrete floor. You hear the thud. Oh man, that one looked like it hurt. And here fans are chanting, "You deserve it, you deserve it." Still, really letting Ciampa know they do not like this guy. Of course, we do not like this guy. He's responsible for Johnny losing his job in the first place. The crowd being into it that much just helps that make the match that much more exciting. So hats off to TakeOver, all the fans at TakeOver New Orleans. They're doing a good job of, making the match exciting to watch on TV as well. Let's see here. What else did we get? Johnny Gargano actually gets the crutches here, and he attacks Ciampa with it, getting his revenge, for exactly what Ciampa did to him. We get, at one point, Johnny has Ciampa in the Gargano escape. He's not able to get him to submit here because, of course, this is an unsanctioned match. So Ciampa goes ahead and gouges Johnny in the eyes, of course, because, this is Ciampa is just a dirty no-gooder, evil, mean guy. What else do we have happen here? Tommaso Ciampa, he has the wrist tape on his hands. He starts taking it off. Johnny Gargano grabs it and wraps it around his arm while Tommaso's trying to wrap it around his neck to choke him. They ended up, of course, it's almost kind of like handcuffs now. They go ahead. They can't get away from each other, so they just go ahead and exchange blows back and forth. And of course, being the fart sniffer that Ciampa is, he low blows Johnny. And then another high spotlight in the match. So earlier in the match, again, Johnny Gargano exposed the middle turnbuckle in one of the corners. Here we get Johnny Gargano. He does a lawn dart throw on Tommaso Ciampa right into that middle turnbuckle. Of course, fans, again, they're just big pop for that. Any pain that they see Ciampa in, they are happy to see it. And of course I'm happy to see it too. I'm almost with the fans, saying you deserve it kind of thing. Let's see what else did we get. So towards the end of the match here, Johnny Gargano, he breaks one of the crutches by putting it in the corner and stomping on it, and it looks like he's about to spear Ciampa right through the head with it, but he stops. He's hesitating and he's looking like he can't do it. Obviously these guys, they were once friends, and it's come to this where they're killing each other. They're gonna kill each other. So Johnny, he looks like he's gonna give some mercy to Ciampa, and he really, looks like he's regretting this moment that their friendship has come to this. And then, of course, so Johnny goes to sit down, and just a little bit earlier, few moments before that, Ciampa had taken off his knee brace, and it's sitting there in the middle of the ring. Ciampa, they both look like they're going to sit next to each other and, kind of reflect about what's happening. But Ciampa, of course, tries to take advantage of this situation, he grabs the knee brace and takes a swing at Johnny. He misses. Johnny Gargano gets him in the Gargano escape. And then he transitions from that into a STF. He grabs Ciampa's knee brace, wraps it around Ciampa's face, gets an STF, holding him like that, and he's pulling tight. Boom, Ciampa has to submit. We get the announcement Johnny Gargano is the winner, and he is reinstated to NXT. This match here, no matter what would have happened, if Johnny would have won or lost, man, this match was so amazing. This is one of the matches that's like, again, Johnny Gargano is so good. I think he had the match of the year last year. This is another type of match that's going to be a match of the year type of match for me. Overall, it was just good. We see Candice LeRae. She comes out to the ring. She starts celebrating with Johnny, of course. We get our happy moment of seeing Johnny get his win. He's back in NXT, so I'm excited to see where it goes from here as well. The guy is obviously over in NXT. When is he going to get his call up to the main roster? We'll just have to wait and see how soon that's going to be. But man, NXT TakeOver New Orleans, it was amazing job by all the performers. The fans were amazing. It was just a great event. The night before WrestleMania, it gets me that much more excited for WrestleMania. Man, they really brought it here. Love the show. I don't know what else I can say about it. I'm gushing here about it. Time for me to stop gushing. Let me know what you guys think. Are you gushing like me? Like, are you feeling like, wow, this was like an amazing event? Every match on this card was amazing. A fun 3 hours of wrestling to watch. Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel here. That's good stuff. If you're listening on the podcast version, please obviously subscribe there as well and leave a review. Anything else, guys, thank you again. And we'll be back again tomorrow to do a review of WrestleMania 34. So we'll see you later. Bye.